Welcome to my presentation. I'm Daniel Moore, Non-Executive Director of Resources and Energy Group. Our current business model is unlocking and adding value to low-risk historic mineral resource discoveries in premier mining districts in Western Australia and Queensland. The presentation cover slide is a picture of our mine at Menzies called Grande. We own all the leases over the land you can see looking north to the Salt Lake, which is about 23 kilometres from north to south. So let's cut to the chase. Why get involved? Why buy REZ? I guess a good start to introducing REZ is to highlight that we have just produced 1,766 ounces of gold from our grande pit Menzies, which, as we announced to the ASX, this was achieved via a joint venture arrangement with BM Mining. The process of producing gold from an old pit has been like clockwork, and we intend to work with BM Mining to continue finding good, profitable and gold-bearing ore. The vital statistics of this campaign are a total of 24,459,000 tonnes were milled with a recovery of 1,766 ounces of gold. Head grade was 2.47 grams a tonne with a recovered grade of 2.23 grams a tonne of gold. We intend to mill another 25,000 tonnes at Lakewood in December 2021. This milling operation will continue with BM Mining run out of ore in the allocated zone under the JV agreement. This operation could continue for some time. Note that Grande had about 70,000 ounces of gold mined from the two pits in the 1990s. The ore is processed at Lakewood Mill, which has substantial capacity for this type of operation. We believe this is a very responsible way of showing shareholders that our dirt is profitable at the current gold price and well suited to local gold milling processing. This means currently we've got continuous mining activities at Menzies, which include constant drill programs and site work to get the ore to respective ROM pads at Menzies and Lakewood. We're very focused on our East Menzies project today, but it's one of two assets that we own, and we believe that we have the potential to be Tier 1 mining assets. Menzies is situated about 130 kilometres north of Kalgoorlie on sealed roads and next to mining infrastructure. The tenements cover 100 square kilometres, which is an amalgamation of 48 contiguous prospecting, exploration and mining leases. They are unique and, as highlighted above, include mining leases. Adjacent to our current mining activities, we have just unlocked a new goldfield known as Giganti Grande. The name really sums up this prospect. This field is where our chief geologist, Mike Johnson, thinks we have discovered a potentially multi-million ounce resource. It sits on the Moriarty Shear, and you'll see from our presentation slide that it's shallow, open at depth, very predictable, and we think could be 5 kilometres long. To date, we've unlocked 500 metres of gold strike. 3 out of 4 holes have shown consistent mineable gold grades. We know this because it's similar to what we get at our mine at Grande mentioned earlier. Across the tenements, there's been very high-grade historical finds, including 98 grams a tonne to the north at Cock Robin, which we haven't started exploring yet. Menzies is a historic goldfield from as far back as the 1880s, when the old diggers were chasing high-grade, narrow-vein shoots with gold grades greater than 22 grams a tonne. I'd like to pivot the conversation at this point to highlight a recent discovery we had to the south at Springfield Prospect. Recently, we were approached by a local old-timer who said we clearly hadn't looked at previous mining reports that were produced for BHP in 1986 and CRA in 1969. Note that they were looking for gold. These reports that are publicly available identified high-grade nickel as high as 2.9% and other green metals. These metals are now seen as essential to the decarbonisation of the world. The transition metals of note discovered included nickel, copper, zinc, chromium, cobalt, molybdenum, silver, platinum and palladium. Ironically, they're not interested in pursuing the 2 grams a tonne of gold that was also discovered. Note that the huge collection of leases held today by REZ hadn't yet been amalgamated. Today, the gold grades would stack up as well. This led to the discovery of 2 more exploration reports by Great Australian Resources and Proto Resources, which also highlighted the existence of these green metals. We then reassayed some of the gold exploration results and have reported to the ASX that it looks like the south of Menzies is a nickel VMS structure. We are now working with experts in the field to try to identify how we can unlock this new but old discovery. So we now have low risk gold production and exploration on northern tenements. Down south at Springfield, we may have chanced upon a significant VMS play. It's like having a Volvo and a Lamborghini in the same garage. We are very excited about the prospectivity of Menzies. Meanwhile, in Queensland, we have Mount McKenzie Gold and Silver Project. Like Menzies, it sits on sealed roads and it is 150 kilometres from the north of Rockhampton Regional Mining Hub. It sits on the New England Fold Belt in Conoverbanarch Arch Province and has delivered over 50 million ounces of gold historically, as well as significant amounts of copper and silver. We have a significant gold and silver resource on this project, and we are currently converting the tenements from mineral development license to mining leases. Similar to Menzies, REZ has focused solely on the top 100 metres, which has so far yielded an optimised open cut resource comprising of 129,000 ounces of gold and 862,000 ounces of silver. We have employed an experienced mine manager and would like to put Mount Mac into production by fourth quarter 22 or first quarter 23. Interesting to think Mount Mac is a porphyry system, which may include copper and other green metals. With the old dirt in the west and the new dirt in the east of Australia, we think we're covered for the current boom in gold and green metals. We look forward to bringing you news on these projects. It's a great time to invest in REZ. The future is now.